Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 very simple thrift store makeovers that I have recently completed to make the items suit my style just a little bit better than they originally would have on their own. I sure hope you will enjoy this video, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Today's first project is this delightful hanging box. I love the copper insert on the bottom and the starburst detail towards the top. I decided a coat of white paint would make it blend better with my home decor, so I am going to be using some paint by Decor in the color Lace, and it is a chalky finish. I first started out by painting the inside sections first. Followed by the outside sections. I ended up giving the whole thing 2 coats of paint, making sure that the first layer was dry sufficiently before adding the second. I let it sit overnight, and then in the morning I took a piece of fine grit sandpaper and used it along the edges and anywhere else that I wanted to accent. A quick and easy project, but oh my goodness, I love how it turned out. I think it is absolutely adorable. I have used it in my kitchen window sink area. I have it hung on the wall, and I think it is a great addition to the space. The starburst is my absolute favorite feature of it. As the paint was drying, I realized that the original finish was making the new paint crackle in some areas, which was a delightful surprise because I loved the look. All in all, this quick and easy project is a delightful addition to my kitchen, and I absolutely love it. For today's second project, I'm starting off with this flour sack remnant. It's a little faded, but I think we can make something out of it. I will also be using this large canvas along with a staple gun and some staples. To start off, I pulled out my tabletop ironing board and my iron, and I pressed the fabric nice and flat and wrinkle free. Then, taking the canvas, I draped the fabric over the top of it, centering it as much as I could. Because I was using a remnant, centering the fabric completely was not possible, so I just did the best that I could. Once I had the fabric positioned where I thought it looked nice, I did take out a ruler and just to double check that everything was pretty much, the same all the way around. Then very carefully I flipped the whole thing upside down and used my staple gun to add 1 staple to each end of the frame. This held the fabric in place so that I could flip over the frame one more time just to make sure that everything stayed the way I wanted it to, and then I could continue attaching the fabric to the frame. I attached the top section first, followed by the bottom section, and then the 2 sides. As I was adding the staples, I made sure to stop stapling the fabric to the frame about 1 inch from each of the corners. At this point, I stopped and used my pair of scissors to remove any of the excess fabric. Then I worked on attaching the fabric on all 4 corners by folding the fabric and then adding a few staples to keep it in place. I found the best way to deal with the corners is to pinch the fabric together and then pull the tail down nice and taut and hold it in place while I added a few staples. Once I attached all 4 corners, this was the finished result. All in all, this project was ridiculously simple, but it is a fun and unique way in which to use vintage fabrics. I think this project would be fun with all different sorts of fabrics like vintage sheets, towels, tablecloths, anything like that I think would turn out really adorable. As you can see, I have hung mine above the shelf in my kitchen, and I think it adds a nice subtle backdrop for my display. I only wish now that I had more flour sacks so I could make some more. Today's third project is this gorgeous mirror. I love its shape and its details, but my goal is to enhance the details a little bit more so that they stand out and to give it a little bit more dimension. My original thought was to add some paint, but after looking over the frame, I was drawn to the distressing that was already there, and so instead of paint, I decided that a little bit of sandpaper was the tool of choice for this project. So with a small piece of fine grit sandpaper, I ran it along the top edges of the design with a very light hand. This was able to give me the dimension I was looking for, plus it also preserved the original color of the mirror. I slowly made my way around the mirror, taking time to wipe off the dust with a clean cloth every now and then, just to make sure that I wasn't over sanding. Once I made my way all the way around the mirror and I was satisfied with the result, I wiped the whole thing down very well with a microfiber cloth to remove all of the dust. I then applied a top coat to protect the wood. I used Decor's Duraclear Ultra Matte Top Coat, one of my all-time favorites, and I just applied it with a very small brush. I allowed the first coat to dry and then I added a second coat for good measure. And that was all I thought the mirror needed to make it suit my personal style just a little bit better. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful, and I've added it to this hook shelf in my bedroom. I am so pleased that the detail work stands out a little better and I'm able to get a little dimension in the mirror just like I had hoped for. Plus I was able to preserve the original gorgeous wood tones of this frame. Alright, so that is going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today as I worked on these projects. I had a lot of fun with them and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up or leave me a comment down below. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and I will see you in my next video. Bye now.